Was wir Oma Opa gemacht haben, das sind wir natürlich. Da gibt es alles her.
And that you can get in the general store. Thought about a tourist bureau. Nobody. No, that is new, but the restaurant itself, even though it wasn't built out that far out here to the lake, you know. But that was all there. You remember me showing you the picture at the fair? Along. Even the first couple of years when children were small, we would.
Whenever you're ready, you can start.
Well, I just have, thinking about what you're saying is very hard. You don't find the words to explain. But all I want to explain now is the time when your grandfather grew up. They had once a year the big fair that was from the school. All the children from the school would be very excited because every person in town, in the village, would come and celebrate. It was such a big fair that everybody, whoever wouldn't have much money, they just scramp everything they have and they celebrate. They build up these places. They had games in the morning to pick a king and a queen, and in the afternoon we'd be going dancing in the restaurant, and we'd be taking a walk through the village and just enjoying the afternoon with coffee and cake. There would be, just on these grounds, coffee and cake, and we could have as much as we wanted to. And all along we had more or less had to be saving money and to get along. But that day nobody thought of saving, just celebrating. And I remember the time when your grandfather was coming. It was just about around that time. They had this fun of having somebody rich come and treating them and having all their drinks on his expense. This was the best of it, That was the first time he was here. They were all poor people. And you can imagine how many friends he had.
Yeah.
There weren't a few. There was almost the whole village were his friends.
What kind of games would they play? Pin the tail on the gun?
Now they shoot a bird. They sort of made up a bird, a wooden bird with wings and a crown and a heart. And whatever would you shoot off this bird, like you would shoot the crown, you'd be the king. If you shoot a wing or the heart was the second prize, and the wing would have, it all had prizes behind them, written in a number. And the women they call it pocket picking. There was a bird carved out of wood, and it had a pick in front, and they just dropped it in, it had, the numbers on the board. And the most you got, numbers, like they add them to the rest, that was the queen, And then they would come and pick them all up at the house. walk through the village and have a good time, knowing that in the afternoon they have coffee and cake and be celebrating. The kids would stay up long, and at the end of all this, you know, after coffee, after the dancing, they would all stand and sing. That was the nicest part of it. They would practice this for weeks, you know. It wasn't that they just stand there. It was really being practiced weeks and weeks ahead of time, so mothers and dads would be pleased to hear you sing. You should see you see us, you know.
What would you sing?
These songs, you know, like für das ein schöner Land in dieser Zeit, als hier das unsere weit und breit, wo wir uns finden, so unter Linden zur Abendzeit, wo wir uns finden, so unter Linden zur Abendzeit. You see, you remember the circle, the trees in the village? Those are linden. This song is saying, no land is better than this, where we gather at evening time under these trees. So, and just emphasize, this is the best spot of the world to be doing that, you know, to be meeting, chatting in the evening, in the summertime, you know, and that's what this song would mean, you know.
Perfect. Okay. That's good. Let me just...
They would scatter the hay with it. From the film.